Black Farmers Conference, the Black Women's Conference, the Black Man Conference, the Black Ex-Offender Conference, Black Youth Conference, Black Media Conference, Black Investors Conference, Black Wall Street Conference. And since I know black women love shea butter so damn much, we want to have a shea butter conference. If you sell shea butter, you can come and sample all the damn shea butter. So brothers and sisters, make sure y'all continue to support us. We will be successful with the will of God. If all goes well, the Nat Turner Jean-Jacques Dessalines Gymnasium is pretty much done. We just got to get the HVAC put on it. That's going to cost us $20,000. I told you to make more money than doctors. So we got to pay 20 grand for the HVAC on the gym. The HVAC for the school was $47,000. Oh yeah. People talk about something, I stole the damn money. Negro, you ain't gave me enough. So the HVAC on the school, cut it out. The HVAC, cut it out. The HVAC on the school, $47,000. It's in Delaware. It was custom made from Chicago. They had to ship it. The HVAC team is going to put it up on the roof before the month is out. Once the HVAC is on the school's roof, we got to make sure the internals are working in the school, the thermostats and all that. If that checks out, we got some plumbing to do, a little bit more of electric to do, get that first inspection, and then we get the carpenter to clean up all the holes and put the drywall up and do all that to make the school, to beautify the school. And then we get our final inspection. I'm saying all that to say that if all goes well, we will be having a grand opening in Black History Month, either the gym or the school or both. And if that doesn't happen, we will definitely have the grand opening at the second annual FDMG Festival on Saturday, September the 10th. So you don't want to miss that, and you'll get a chance to go through the school and see it and everything. Now some of you probably gonna say, Dr. Umar, I'm in Norfolk, how can my son benefit? Because I can't move up to Delaware right now. It's okay. We're going to be working on a virtual platform, so your son can still be a part of the class through the computer, where he can see the classmates and see the teacher and they can see him, but he will still be required to come to Delaware 4 times a year in order to build that relationship, because we are forging a family of black men. This is a brother. So he still got to come to the school and get that. Also, all of our extracurriculars, any black boy can participate. When we go hunting, they can go. When we go camping, they can go. When we go paintballing, they can go. When we go to Africa, they can go. Anything we do extracurricular, your son can go. And speaking of the Black College and Consciousness Tour, if you have a son or daughter 11 to 17, there will be a tour for them this coming summer. If you have a son or daughter 18 to 25, who's out of school, but kind of lost their way, might have went to jail, might be smoking too much weed, might have had a baby, they don't know where they are in life and they need to find their way. Dr. Umar gonna help them find their way. So there's gonna be an 18 to 25-year-old tour, a 17 to 25-year-old tour, 11 to 17, 18 to 25, and then I'm gonna do a third tour. Because I got so many adults saying, I wanna go on the tour. I'm not trying to go to college or nothing, but I wanna experience the tour. So I'm gonna do one for y'all too. This is not a dating retreat. Thirsty asses! This is a college tour. So we're gonna take them to Harriet Tubman House, Harriet Tubman Grave, Frederick Douglass House, Frederick Douglass Grave, the Nat Turner Trail, the Great Blacks and Wax Museum, where I'll be speaking at on Sunday, day after tomorrow. We're gonna go to the African Holocaust Museum in Philadelphia. It's the only museum in the world, in America, dedicated to the transatlantic slave trade of African people. I'm gonna give my Philadelphia downtown tour. We're gonna go to Benjamin Banneker Home. We're gonna go to the National Smithsonian Institute, Cheney University, Lincoln University, University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, Delaware State, Hampton, Howard, Coppin, Bowie, Morgan, Virginia State. We're gonna do all of the Upper South schools. I'm gonna do another tour in the South, but this is gonna be for the Upper South. So if you have a son or daughter who can benefit from that, it's probably gonna be 2 weeks, overnight. We do have chaperones. It's gonna be 2 weeks, and you're gonna pay $500. The rest of the price is gonna be subsidized by the donors of the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, because we're doing it under the FDMG banner. The tour is $2,000, but you're only gonna pay $500. And if you can't save up $500 for your child to get that experience, shame on your ass. As I close out, a couple more points for parents. Number 1, don't go to no school meetings by yourself. Always take somebody with you. The biggest mistake black mothers and fathers are making in these public and charter schools is going to meetings without a witness. Take somebody with you. Never go by yourself. Why do you think they bring 15 people in there with you? One black mother, 15 crackers, right? You go in there to see about your son's behavior. They got the principal, the vice principal, the principal intern, the school nurse, the school counselor, the school social worker, the school psychologist, the dean of students, the grade leader, the window washer, the trash man, the bus driver. Why do they bombard you with a whole army of crackers? Number one, to intimidate you. And number two, to have a witness to all the lies that they told. And even though they lied, they got 15 people who can say they said it. How many people you got can say they didn't say it? Nobody, because you went alone. Take somebody with you. But let me tell you who not to take. If your baby daddy a coon, don't take it. Your baby mama a coon, don't take it. The worst thing you can do is take the other parent if you know they cooning. If you know that parent loves special ed and love drugs, leave their ass on. And black woman, if you can't find you a strong black man to go with you, take 5 or 6 of your girlfriends with you. In fact, you know what I would do? I would find out how many white folks coming to the meeting. They say it's going to be 15 white folks. I'm going to call 20 corner boys in. Raheem and Tay and Mike will white beat his tattoos everywhere smell like 2-week-old reefer. Take them in there. And you tell Mike and them, Mike, I don't want you to talk, don't open your mouth, but if these white folks start yelling at me, I want you to bang your fist on the table real hard, fold your arms, look real mad. Because you know, white folks scared of black people been to jail. Oh, yeah. Don't go in there with no little bougie, fake 3-piece suit Negro. Pants sagging, Timbos out, go in there with them types. There you go. It won't be no special ed by the time they done. Also, parents, don't sign nothing unless you read it and agree with it. Before you leave here today, you're going to have Dr. Umar's cell phone. You know what you can do? Whenever you get a piece of paper, you don't know what the school talking about, all you got to do is take a picture, text it to me. Dr. Umar, I got this yesterday for my son. What is this? Because you know what they're doing now with special ed? They're not calling it special ed. They're trying to catch you off guard. They're calling it extra help. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They got hip to me. So they're trying to weave around. So you got to sit after me so I can let you know. Don't sign that. Another thing, don't sign the release of information form for this child's school. Never sign release of information. Never give the school permission to talk about your child behind your back without your knowledge. That's right. Why do you want them to go to your child's pediatrician? Why do you want them to go to your son's probation officer? Why do you want them to talk to your caseworker? For what? What do you do when they ask for permission to sign the release? You say, I don't sign these. If you want a meeting with my son's probation officer, if you want a meeting with my daughter's therapist, if you want a meeting with the pediatrician, I will schedule it. And the 3 of us can get on the phone and talk together. But what I'm not going to do is give crackers permission to talk about my kids without my presence. Never sign the release. Okay? Next thing, black mother, this is for you. Stop telling your business to your child's teacher. She is not your life coach. Too many black mothers are running their mouth. I know why you're running your mouth, because black women don't have a sisterhood and y'all need one. Y'all need to depend on each other, but y'all too busy competing for the small available pool of heterosexual men. I know it's the truth. All y'all want, Mike. But y'all need each other more. So you go to your child's home and school conference, report card, and you telling the teacher, white woman, all your business. My baby daddy got locked up, the other one got shot. I was homeless, now I'm living in my mama's basement, I just lost my second child. You tell them all this to this white. Looking for compassion from white folks. They are cold-blooded. They don't have no compassion. So the minute you walk out, she go right to the principal, tell the principal everything you told her, and said you smell like reefer and you look like you on drugs. Next thing you know, they call Child Protective Services. Some of y'all been through this already. They call Child Protective Services, and they at your house banging on the door, talking about they got to look in the refrigerator and look in the bedrooms and look at your bills. We need your gas and your electric and all that. And then you find out later that the same teacher you was crying on got you exposed. Because the minute they want to special educate that child and you don't do it, everything you told them going to come out. The minute they want them on Ritalin and Adderall and Concerta and Metadate and Cycler and you don't go along with the crack, they're going to jam you up. And by the way, those drugs that they give your children, you better stop giving them out. That ain't nothing but cocaine, synthesized crack. Ritalin, Adderall, Concerta, Metadate, all of those are synthesized versions of crack cocaine. So let me understand this, Virginia. They lock your son's father up for selling crack. He got 5 grams and that got him 10 years for 5 grams. But they giving your son 5 grams every damn day. So he can sit still learning long enough to be taught Christopher Columbus by white women. If you don't plan on giving your child drugs, never get an ADHD evaluation. Let me say that one more time. If you don't plan on putting your child on drugs, don't ever get them an ADHD or a conduct disorder or ODD eval. Because the minute they get the diagnosis, you just gave them the key to turn the lock. Once you got the label, the school can call Child Protective Services and say, we got a kid who needs medication, he got a diagnosis, and the mom won't give him the meds. But I'm going to go a step further with y'all. Is ADHD on that list? No. ADHD is a mental disorder. But once you get the child evaluated at the clinic or at the hospital, and you bring that report to me, the principal of the school, since you brought it into the school. We don't diagnose ADHD in the school. It got to be diagnosed outside the school. So once you bring it into the school, it's fair game for us to use it. Did y'all hear what I just said? That means none of your children would be in special ed for ADHD if you didn't run your big mouth and bring that report in there and let the white folks know that a psychologist outside the school gave them the label. And by the way, ADHD don't even exist. You know what ADHD really stand for? Ain't no daddy at home disorder, ADHD. And why do I say that? Because 80% of black boys diagnosed with ADHD don't have a father in their life. This is not about no brain neurology. This is not no cerebral dysfunction. This is a war against black males that sends the fathers to jail for selling crack and then give that same crack to the son so they can sit still long enough to learn about Helen Keller and Anne Frank. Those drugs kill brain cells. Those drugs mess with organ function. Those drugs cause schizophrenia, tic disorders, nightmares, homicidal thinking, suicidal thinking, oh yeah, psychosis. I know children who can't even drive a car anymore because the medication they took for ADHD fried their frontal cortex so much they don't have no control over their executive functions anymore. Can't even drive a car because mom or dad let some school people tell you you need medication. How the hell you need medication for a miseducation? You ain't even learning a damn thing. And another thing, don't ever tell the school your child is on the meds, because once the school know your child is on the meds, you can never get them off. If you really think your child is too hyper, why don't you go to the health food store and get them some of the organic formulas that they got. There's one called Calm Child. There's one called Melissa Supreme. There's a whole bunch of them. But the difference between the herbs and the drugs is what? The herbs take a long time before they kick in. Your child might have to take the herbs for 30 days before you notice an effect. But here's the other thing. Are you sure he got a problem at all? Because after all, he is a boy. After all, he is a masculine child. And you do know that schools are ran by women. And when boys go to school and don't know how to act like girls, they're considered to have problems. If every black boy in the Hampton Roads had a black male teacher, there would be no special ed problem. There would be no ADHD problem. The problem is women are running the schools and they are suffocating our boys to death. And not only are women running your schools, white women are running the schools. So he got two problems. He's black in a white-dominated institution, and he's a man in a female-dominated institution. Your son is being blackmailed every day. Take out your phone, and I'm going to give you my number if you ever need to reach me. If you got family in Maryland, I'll be at the Great Blacks and Wax Museum on Sunday, day after tomorrow. It's a free program from 2 to 8. If you've never been to the National Great Blacks and Wax Museum, make sure you take your children up there. Every child needs to go to the Great Blacks and Wax Museum. It's my favorite museum in the country.
And it's in Philly?
It's in Baltimore.
In Baltimore,
1601
right.
East North Avenue, Baltimore. You can do a whole trip up there. Because you can do the Great Blacks and Wax, you can do Frederick Douglass Home in D.C., Benjamin Banneker Home right outside of D.C. You can go to Bucktown and do the Harriet Tubman hometown tour. You can take them to the aquarium. What else you got? You got the Reginald F. Lewis Museum. There's a lot of things to do in terms of black consciousness and culture in that whole